Can you see it from there?
Yeah, it's quite that's not
in Eldoret with the word of prayer is here with us to open. So Professor, that time you were online, you closed the word of prayer online. Now you are here with us in person. You can pray for us as we start the meeting. I can bring the mic to where you are. Professor Nancy, the mic to pray for the meeting. In the meantime, I would request, as he prays, it is good all of us to rise up. I know some of you something already. Let's rise up for the word of prayer. Thank you. Proceed.
My name is Nancy Obaka. I'm going to read you with a Christian prayer to open this workshop. Let us pray. Father, in the mighty name of your Son Jesus Christ, we are very grateful this morning for your protection and care and mercy upon our lives and upon those that we care about. We are grateful that we are able to be here, receive our thanksgiving. Now we commit ourselves into your hands. We have come here to learn about a very important aspect of artificial intelligence. We are asking that our minds will be open and we will be able to handle this area in the right way, even to be able to guide our students and to come up with right policies for our universities. We commit all those who are talking to us into your hands. It usually takes a lot of effort that they will be prepared and give us what we need. We pray for our well-being as we sit here to learn, and we pray that God, you will be exalted in this workshop. In Jesus' name we pray and believe. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bro, for the word of prayer. Our chief guest, the Vice Chancellor of Chuka University, represented here by Professor Eunice Kidai, and the DAD Regional Director, Nola De Vela, together with Anya Bergerstoff, who is the Alumni Coordinator or Program Officer. Welcome to Chuka University. Our Chuka University Management Team, DAD alumni, staff from Chuka University, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm happy to see you here today. This is an idea that grew early this year, looking at what is happening globally as well as regionally and as well as in Kenya. We have realized that we cannot ignore generative AI anymore. We started with trying to hide our hands in the sands, but now we have realized that this is something that we cannot do away with, or we can't wish it away. And therefore, this is a very timely discussion. And I'm not going to give any speech. I'm just setting the pace so that we know the reason why we are here. And as I talk, on your desk, for most of us, you have a paper that has a code that you can join a Microsoft form where you'll be giving your expectation for the workshop. If you scan the code that is in front of you, it will take you to a form where you give your conference or your workshop expectation, which we will also look at together so that we understand if we know why we are here and what are our expectations, our corrective expectations. But before we get to the opening ceremony and also the speeches that will follow, and also now the workshop starting officially, I would like, because it is not possible to give every person a mic, that will take a lot of time, but you'll get time to interact and know each other. But I would like, by a show of hands, We have staff from Chuka University, either DAD alumni or non-DAD alumni. I would like to trouble you a little bit. Just stand up where you are. In Chuka University, we are the hosts. So, DAD Director, Anya, and also our VC. This is the team from Chuka University that's joining us in person. There are quite a number that are joining us online. We are also virtually. We'll get to know the number from the screen here of the number of people who have already joined, and those who will continue to join as we progress with the meeting. As you sit down, the Chuka team, the management will be mentioned by their names. The rest, kindly, we will interact as we progress. I want you to leave the organizing committee standing. I had a group of organizing committee for the workshop. These are the people who helped me to organize this workshop. They have already been introduced elsewhere. But because of the DAD alumni, I don't know them. That is Professor Muraya. We have Edna Chebet, a doctor. We have Dr. Elosi Gataka, Dr. Beke Williams. We have Dr. James Mwangi, Dr. Peter Kimandi, and Professor Masi Wanja. You are welcome. You can sit down. So that is the team from Chuka University. We are joined by DAD alumni from, I counted, I think you are from 15 different institutions. It's difficult to for me to keep mentioning everybody, but DAD alumni, we honor you for coming, and thank you. We are very happy that you are here. You made it all in good time. So I'd like all the DAD alumni to stand up. This is a strong team that arrived yesterday. Allow me not to give you the mic, but he is Professor Muma. Professor Muma is in Tuk Technical University. He is, you can sit down. Andoyo, I give them the mic. Okay. Yes, our VC, your host, has requested. So we'll do a bit faster. So let's repeat that. So let's say your name and where you come from.
My name is Professor Muma from the Technical University of Kenya. Thank you.
Welcome, Professor.
My name is Castle Andoyo from JKU. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Charles Richie from Maseno University.
thank you, Charles.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Steve from University.
Good morning, colleagues. Professor James Aguata from Machakos University.
Good morning, Dr. James Mugambi, Southeastern Kenya University.
Good morning, Lucy Waluguru, KCA University.
I am Momole from Technical University of Kenya.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Ngwenyi David from Maseno University.
Good morning, Dr. Jopunga Eric from Technical University of Mombasa.
Good morning, Dr. Philip Mayeku, Kenya Institute of Primate Research.
Good morning, everyone. Odwaro Bure from Technical University of Kenya.
Good morning, Dr. Francis Wanyama from the University of Nairobi.
Good morning, Paris Samoy from Technical University of Kenya.
Dr. Milka Mutuku, Egerton University. Dr. Dokas Lusetti from Moi University.
Good morning. I'm Felix Tananga from Southeastern Kenya University, SECO.
Stanislas Musioki, Southeastern Kenya University. Naso Nadero, Tata University, TTU.
Good morning. I'm Chris Camara from Moi University.
Good morning, Odari Victor, Maseno University.
Good morning, Peterson Michelle, University.
Good morning, Austin Mlama, Maseno University.
Good morning, Rosa Tieno Pio, Most Kakamega.
Good morning, Nicholas Nyaga from District University.
There are two more.
Angulu Margaret, Moi University.
Gerisho Munala Jekwa.
Professor Moses Muraya, Chuka University.
William Teke, Chuka University. Karibuni.
So thank you. Thank you, DAD alumni. Thank you, our staff members from Chuka University for making it. So, Director and VC, these are the people who have visited us. I don't know if you are counting with me, 15 different universities, and one from an Institute of Private Research, that is Philip Mayeko. We have two more people in the audience, in the audience that I have not introduced. They will be facilitators, they will be talking to us, but it is good we know them. We have Dr. Moses Stiegel, just to say what he will be talking to us shortly.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Moses Dega. I'm a senior lecturer IT at Kabarak University.
Welcome, Moses. Then we have Dr. Mogo from Embu University.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. David Mogoy from University of Embu, where I am a senior lecturer, computer science, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dr. Mogo. So that adds two more institutions, that is Kabarak and Embu University. The University of Embu, I'm reminded, it's not Embu University, it's the University of Embu. It's timely because Moses and Mogo didn't know each other until I think 2 days ago. They met in a similar function like this one, talking about generative AI, but now from the developer side. And they met there, and Moses told me during the talk, he realized that he is with Dr. Mogo, who is the second person to speak in my workshop after him. That was timely. It was a coincidence, it was not planned. VC, are you okay with your people not saying their names? And we have given visitors, okay. VC tells me we'll say our names after because of interest of time. But our visitors, feel welcome at Chuka University. You'll be given a better welcome by our VC, the representative of our VC. This is the only prophetic university we have in Kenya, and it is good that we are talking about AI on the soils of Chuka University. To us is a great honor. We also have other people who are assisting us, those who are facilitating and doing many other jobs. I'm not going to introduce them now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we are going to do our opening ceremony. Let me give you the expectation. We will have a brief remark by the VC and also her opening speech of the workshop. She will be preceded, or the person who will come before her will be the two registrars. The Registrar Academic Affairs will come and say hi. Then Mamubi will also come in to invite the VC and also give his 2 words of wisdom. After that, after the brief or the official opening, we will have now the remarks and the from DAD director that will be said by Anya, but of course the D director will also say hi to the congregation. But before that, this is normally done before we start. We normally want to capture the expectations of the people for the workshop. I don't know what people have said. Probably I can see a brief summary of what is there online. My director can guide me there. It's possible within a few minutes or seconds. It's working. If not, it will be projected here as we progress. Give me an indication, Dr. Edna. Yes, Saif? It's okay? It can be projected here on the screen? Yes? Okay. Members have already collected, or they have already input their views. You can progress the report. We see the report. For those who have not joined, you will get a chance so that we capture your expectation. It is good even for recording purposes. So it's not moving? Okay. We'll get assistance as we move on. This will be captured. For the interest of time, and as I wait for the IT team to do that, allow me to invite Dr. Chege to say a few words, and we'll invite the Mabubi, who will invite the VC for last.
Thank you, Professor Kamweru. Can we clap for him? Our guest from DAD and our VC, here represented by Professor Eunice Githai, all visitors from the 15 universities, and our own staff. Good morning. My name is Dr. Samuel Chege. I'm the Registrar in charge of Academic Affairs, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome you and tell you, feel at home. As Professor Kamweru said, this is the only prophetic university in the world, and therefore you're welcome. You share our blessing. We love visitors as prophesied. But before I invite the next speaker, I would wish to recognize our finance officer, Bwana John Keremi. Kindly stand up and thank you. I take this opportunity now to invite my colleague, Dr. Peter Opio Mabubi. Please clap for him.
Thank you so much, the Registrar in charge of Academic and Student Affairs. My name is Dr. Peter Opio Mabubi. I'm the Registrar in charge of Administration and Planning. And before I invite our vice to make remarks, I recognize that I'm a student of innovation, and I'm proud to be here today. For all our partners and the chief guests and everybody else, feel most welcome. And notably, Education Mirrors Society. And for Education Mirrors Society, the generative artificial intelligence will enhance efficiency in higher education. And if there is efficiency in higher education, we expect a better and productive society. At this point, I humbly welcome our Vice Chancellor to speak to us. Karibu, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you, Registrar. DAAD representatives, Joka University Management Team, participants from all over the country, let me say that, the organizers of this event, and everybody who is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
God is good. And all the time.
God is good.
My name is Eunice Githai, and I feel honored to represent the management and also our Vice Chancellor, Professor Henry Mochembe, who is away on official matters. I am the acting Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Administration, Finance, Planning and Development, and we have another DVC in charge of Student Affairs, who is Professor Gilbert Nduru. He has sent his apologies, he's bereaved, so he said he's here with us. So before I give my speech, I want us to imagine a situation where we have a conversation, and I want to tell Professor Kamweru, where are you? Yeah, you'll be given a mic because I want to tell you that I am exhausted. So how do you respond? I'm in the office, and I feel tired, and I tell you, oh, you've come, you're welcome. But I feel so much exhausted. What will you tell me?
Pole kwa kazi.
Do you understand that language? Pole kwa kazi. Nani nipatia message yake? A lady, tell me something. Prof, I'm very exhausted.
And the grace of God is sufficient.
You have heard the two answers, eh? One is pole kwa kazi, the other one is the grace of God is sufficient. I want you to hear what AI told me. So when I went to deep AI, it told me, I'm sorry to hear that you are feeling this way. it is important to take care of yourself. If you can, consider taking a break or doing something relaxing. What do you think might help you feel a bit better? That was deep AI. I think, no, that one is enticing me. Let me go to the AI chatting. AI chatting told me, I am sorry to hear that you are feeling exhausted. It is important to take care of yourself when you are feeling tired. Is there anything specific that you would like help with? Or anyway, I can support you right now. It is nice, eh? That is AI chatting. I decided to go to the third one, the last, the chat GPT. Chat GPT told me, I'm sorry to hear that. What has been wearing you out? Sometimes it's just talking about it. It can help a bit. You hear the responses of the two people and the responses of the AI. Is there any difference? Which one would you go for? Yet it is not a person. It is not a person. And that is how our students will be feeling when we give them substandard notes, old curriculums, no references. They will be telling us, I would rather go where? To the AI, because they are not helping us. So let me go to my speech now, that we have decided to talk to you through the management. It is a great honor for me to address you today on a topic that is rapidly transforming the landscape of higher education, the GenAI. We stand at the threshold of a new era where AI tools are just futuristic concepts, but active participants in our daily academic lives. This technological advancement brings with it a world of potential, but also challenges and responsibilities that we must navigate with wisdom and foresight. Otherwise, we might be replaced. And I will not be standing here in the future. AI might be speaking on my behalf. Higher education today faces many challenges, from large class sizes that limit personalized instruction, to the varying levels of student preparedness, to the need for continuous engagement in an increasingly digital world. These issues demand innovative solutions, and GenAI offers us a powerful toolset to address them. Generative AI tools have the potential to revolutionize how we teach and how students learn. They can assist in creating interactive and adaptive learning materials that respond to the pace and progress of each student, thus bridging the gap between diverse learning abilities within the classroom and ensuring that no student is left behind. Moreover, GenAI can help faculty manage administrative tasks, allowing more time to focus on meaningful student interactions. By the way, this speech is not generated by AI, but if you generate yours and I generate mine, we'll be wondering who is the owner of that information. There will be so many keywords, so note them here. Ladies and gentlemen, across the globe, we are witnessing inspiring success stories of GenAI enhancing the educational experience. We are not just theorizing here, but there are real-world case studies which we are going to hear in a topic. I think this is a topic that we talk about case studies. So we are going to hear those case studies on how AI has transformed education. So how can the university leverage AI to enhance student learning? So to fully realize it, we must integrate these tools thoughtfully in our teaching and learning strategies. One way to do this is by using GenAI to foster deeper engagement with course material. For example, AI can generate case studies or problem sets that challenge students to apply their knowledge creatively and critically. And that is one of the challenges that we have with the AI, the critical thinking. And I believe after these 2 days, we are going to see how we are going to assist our students to think critically, even ourselves. In research, AI can assist students in gathering and analyzing data more efficiently, enabling them to focus on the developing insights and arguments. Universities must motivate students and faculty alike to use AI in ways that prioritize critical thinking and analysis responsibly. So as we introduce these tools, it is crucial to guide students in using them And we must emphasize that AI can assist in the learning process and it should not replace critical thinking and analysis. I have repeated critical thinking because I've tried to use AI in very many areas, especially in teaching. And you find almost everything is analyzed within a very short time, isn't it? Even a speech, you can call me now and within a second, I have all the information that I need. But now the issue is how do we integrate what AI is generating from all that data that it is gathering with what we were created to do with our minds, okay? So as we embrace these technologies, our education policies must evolve to accommodate and regulate the use of GenAI. It is essential to develop guidelines that ensure the ethical use of AI, protect data, and maintain academic standards. We have seen cases where our students are using the gadgets to cheat in examinations. So you give you ask a question, but the answer that you get, you wonder, am I the one who taught this? You know? So it is good to let them know the ethical issues related to GenAI. So moreover, we must support local innovations, and by encouraging research and development, we can create tools that are tailored to our specific educational needs and cultural context. And collaborations also between universities, thank you for coming, we are happy you are here. Between universities, industry, DAAD, you are here, the government and other organizations should come together to drive these innovations forward. As I conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partner, DAAD, for the support that you've given us, and for the participating organizations for coming. And with those very many few remarks, and on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, it is my humble duty to declare this workshop open. Clap for me. I wish you fruitful deliberations that will inform policy and ultimately shape and improve teaching and research in learning institutions. Welcome to Chuka University. I would have wished to stay with you throughout. Actually, I should be trained after this. Professor Kamoro will keep the notes for me. At least they are recorded also, but we have a council meeting at 10. So when you see me leave, we are together in this. So thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, VC, for opening for us the workshop. We can have another hand of applause to the VC. Thank you also for the word of wisdom and also enlightening us or trying to provoke our thinking, especially on the use of AI. Prof, you can be sure that if I met you, it's evening, and you are tired, I would not have just said pole kwa kazi. That was a coached answer because of the workshop, but I would have done that. Probably I would have even wished to know, do you want a hug? Do you want... Those are the kind of things that we do normally, yeah? If maybe the hug would make it feel like I'm real or something like that, yeah? I will do better than AI, you can be sure. But we get the concept. So members or participants, we are proceeding well with the workshop, and as I mentioned, we are having online viewers, and I have been invited by the IT team to verbalize this, that there is a WhatsApp channel that's circulated even on our WhatsApp platform. The link to that channel is circulated to our conversation channels on the WhatsApp platforms. For the DAAD alumni, we have the group here together. That link is there. For the Chuka team, we have the Chuka Reloaded, and then I will help me put that there. We also have the one for the FSET team, for the Faculty of Science and Technology. And the reason we are doing this is to make sure that nobody is left out who is willing to join us online. In that channel, they will be able to speak to us and tell us where they are experiencing difficulties, and somebody is assisting them to do that. Already we have assisted quite a number, and I'm told we were having a number of almost 50 who had joined when I went to the IT desk. We'll know the exact number as we progress. These are the expectations of the members. We had asked you, what is your main goal for attending this GenAI workshop? This response is does not categorize who is here in person or who has answered online. It's for the participants. 28 responses for that question, and the question was, what is your main goal for attending this GenAI workshop? One, the answer that is reading is that for all of the above reasons, and the reasons were to learn how to use GenAI tools effectively with 11, understand the underlying technology and concepts, only one person, exploring ethical implications of GenAI. That answer alone does not get any answer. 0 so far. The other one is networking with other professionals in the AI field. At least there is a person who is here to do that. And 14 of us, it's for all of the above. And one was giving other as an alternative reason. The next question was, how do you rate your current experience with GenAI tools? And we have 2 responses that are equal in number, that I'm a beginner, I am new to GenAI. The other one is intermediate. I have experimented a bit, and the experimented a bit is increasing as we are seated here. The others are 0 and 1. We can proceed to the next, because I'm not going to stay here longer. Which aspect of GenAI are you motivated, or are you more interested in during the workshop? Quite a number want to have practical applications and hands-on experience. I'm going to mention something about that. Proceed. Would you use GenAI tools to assist with tasks like research, setting, exams, educational administrations, and others? And we have 22 saying absolutely I will do that. 5 maybe, and 2 unlikely. They prefer to handle those tasks themselves. Those 2 people are here, my speakers, you are listening. I don't know if you want to convert those 2 before the end of the workshop. Do you believe AI-generated art can be considered true art? So this is just a question to provoke, to see the acceptability of the produce of AI. And we are still skeptical, because the 52% of that says maybe. It depends on how it is used. Probably that could be the right answer, I don't know. And 10%, no, that 4% said yes, creativity is not limited to humans. But I think GenAI is also generated by humans. So anyway, proceed. What concerns you most about widespread use of generative AI? One, the leading answer here is misinformation and deep fakes, followed by privacy and data security concerns, followed by bias in AI-generated content. And we saw this bias somewhere else. Bias include race bias, tribal bias, name them. And even ideological biases, they are there. Somebody is not concerned about the widespread. So proceed. With the next question, was that the last question? I believe so. So we can see the thinking of the people, and I believe there was a question somewhere we had given people free will of ability to express themselves, to give any other reason other than this, and we are going to record all those responses, and probably they will assist the presenters as they do their work, and also future organizers. Those responses are down there, we look at them. So, ladies and gentlemen, you see, this is what we are concerned with about AI. And as I mentioned, as we are starting, this is a second part of a workshop. The first workshop that was held in Eldoret was more hands-on. There we practiced, even for those who are online, Professor Mbaka, and Professor Munyiri was also there. I can't see the other members who are here, but were there, but there are quite a number who are there from Chuka. I counted when we were opening, there were around 15 online. And we did practical demonstration of how to use those tools, starting with the basic one, ChatGPT, the one that most people know, but we went as far as to use other tools like Research Rabbit, for manuscript preparation and writing, and we also went to fast Canvas to do presentation. We did Copilot, we generated images, and the people will then analyze data using a variety of tools. This workshop, as has been highlighted, we are interested mostly, even though my speakers have told me they will give us an assignment so that we have some part that we will follow up after the workshop. We are mostly interested to see, after you have gained that practical skills and now you can use this GenAI, how good can you use it in whatever you do on a day-to-day basis? That's number one. Number two, how can you use it taking care of all the reservations that people have about generative AI? We are interested to know about the ethical use, about what do we do with those biases? What do we do with the use of generative AI, but we still want to encourage critical thinking? We want to release graduates to the market who are fully baked, that they can think on their own without being aided by a third party. That's a tool, that generative AI tool. Those are the questions that we want to answer at the end of this workshop. And not all will involve you as participants to come up with policy guidelines. Other countries like the US, if you go to the website of bigger universities like Harvard, you will find that they have developed policy guidelines to the use of generative AI. There is none in Kenya. So we want to answer that question. If you were to produce, if you were to assemble a number of guidelines today, how would they look like? What are those guidelines? How can they already be integrated with the existing policies? And the policies we are having today, now we are talking about CBE, competency-based education. We are talking about CPC every day. How can we help, where can we come in with this generative AI, for example, to come up with adaptive learning platforms? These are platforms that are responsive to the specific learner. They are analyzing the details, they are analyzing the behavior of a specific learner artificially, and suggest possible intervention for that specific learner alone, so that we attain our learning and teaching outcomes. So those are the questions. I'm just saying this to provoke your thinking, so that even as we listen to the presenters and as we start the workshop, we will have an idea of what we want to come up with. We will have a policy guideline, policy statement that we will share with the DAD, with the Commission of University Education, and of course with our universities. So I hope those answers, or those questions will be answered. We'll have group discussions today and tomorrow, and those are the questions that we have put in for you. We'll show you exactly how we are going to do the group discussions, including those people who are online. But at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, allow me, now that we have set the expectations, the workshop has been opened, allow us to have a brief moment where we know more about DAD. DAD Director and Anya, you have seen in the audience, we have members who are alumni, we have audience who are alumni, most of them will know about DAD. We call it the DAAD in Kenya. So there are people who are not DAAD alumni, who like to know generally about DAD, and also like to know about the alumni opportunities that are there. So I will invite Anya Begelstoff, who will do the presentation, but before that, she's signaling to me that I invite the regional director to come and say hi. Kindly don't ask us a difficult question about AI, especially about what to do to you in the evening. It's okay. You're welcome.
Thank you for the invitation. Good morning, everybody. Since we already stepped, I think, very deeply in a very engaged topic by the wonderful speech of the DVC, but also by your introduction words. So I was asked to do welcome remarks, and I think I have to do it really briefly, because we already are somehow interested in what the day will bring us and what will be the results of this very well-placed questions. So, first of all, dear Professor Arnis Gitai,
DVC, but now here representing the VC of Chuka University. Dear guest, of course, but dear management team for this wonderful event today. And besides this just mentioned persons, most welcome to, of course, our alumni of DAAD, but also the other guests who are joining this meeting. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome all of you to this very exciting, or this workshop with a very exciting topic, let us put it this way. On behalf of the DAAD, or DAAD, as it is called here in this region. The DAAD has, I think most of you know, and that is for you, I think, a good advantage, an office here in Nairobi. And it's my pleasure that I could take over the directorship of this office in January this year. Although I'm already a bit familiar with this region because before that I headed the section for scholarships for the sub-Saharan area at the head office in Bonn, and before that I was in charge for the programs running institutional support for this region, so that means centers of excellence, etc., etc. So for those who are not 100% familiar with DAAD, and it must be some of you, because I think about the half our alumni, so now I address mainly those who are not that familiar with DAAD. DAAD is an association of the German institutions of higher education. So it's not a ministry or something like that, but as I said, our members are the institutions of higher education in Germany and their student bodies. So in a way we are replacing German universities here on the ground. So the main task is, to put it in a nutshell, international exchange worldwide, so not only in Africa, and that we are doing in two, not only in two, but mainly in two ways. That means individual support, generally spoken scholarships, scholarships for different career steps, beginning with masters, but also PhDs, in some cases also postdocs, but also for lecturers, for researchers, for short stays, for long stays. So it's a huge basket full of instruments, but I do not want to go to the depths in this context because it's my colleague Anja who will introduce to you later on a bit more about the specific things which are interested for you as lecturers at universities, for you as researchers, or perhaps as you as future scholarship holders. And the other part is, I already touched it, that we put a lot of effort in strengthening the collaboration between German universities and universities here on the ground, by particular programs. I think for the time being, that is, I think, enough in this context. As I said, you will learn a bit more about that later on. But the third, and with perspective to this meeting, important pillar of support is, of course, the support of our graduates, of our former scholarship holders, of our alumni and alumni. So I think the main task is really to establish a family feeling, to ensure that we as D have contact to you, but, and that is also, I think, an important issue, to enable you to establish a network beyond you as former scholarship holders and to invite other people to join this network. So that is the main task, and that is, again, the topic of Anja, and she has quite a lot of information for you later on to give you more interest, perhaps, or more knowledge about where you can make use out from. Now, coming to the topic of this workshop, what is really exciting for me, by the way, I'm a biologist, and honestly, the first steps of artificial intelligence, for me was always something, ooh, what is that? Can we trust them? Perhaps it's not that important. Let's wait a bit, let's check what the others are doing, things like that. But I think Professor Paul just mentioned it, we can't wish it away. I think more, we not only can't wish it away, it's somehow virulent. So that is clear for us that in all parts of our life, we are faced in the future with artificial intelligence. And now, for me, very important thing is that you really, I think I call it this way, you were so brave to address the importance, but also the challenges of artificial intelligence concerning higher education. And that is something what I really like to see, and also the DAD, because of course we all can make use of the advantage of artificial intelligence. But there's also another side. There are always two sides of the medal, and that are the challenges. Yes, we just heard about data protection, ethical questions, job displacements, for example. What's about data privacy? I say sorry, I say polisana, but that is also what we have to address. And I got that after the first meeting, which took place in the beginning of the year in Eldoret, where it was more hands-on. You also are open now, today and tomorrow, to address these questions and to be aware of the responsibility you as representatives from higher education institutions have. Yes, I think that for universities and institutions of higher education, it's not only to continue and make use out of this service. I think it's really needed to develop a robust policy, to identify regulations, to find guidelines how to handle it. It's not only with you, it's only with us, also with us as DAD. So what's about selection meetings, where the motivation letters and the concepts are not written by the persons? That means, yeah, also we and you have to face this challenge and this issue of being prepared how to make use of it, not only by practical applications. So I was a bit astonished when I saw this overview before, that for exploring ethical implications, I think it was only one person who ticked it. Sorry to say, but I think that is something what all of you and we all have to address. Although it is, of course, the most difficult part of it. It's always easier to use something, what is there, just to click, to ask, to get a nice answer, as we just had the practice before. But I really want to address that we have to take over also the responsibility for what we are doing. And that is why I'm so happy about the topic of this meeting today and tomorrow. And once more, I want to welcome you to this workshop. And I hope that everybody from different aspects is taking something more home tomorrow evening. Not only in hands-on practical tips and advices, but also in awareness, how to handle it, how to recommend it perhaps also for students and for other people in your environment. I do not want to close this meeting, of course, without words of thanks to the organization team. So Professor Paul and his huge group, I think you did really very, very good work. And on the other hand, I also want, of course, to thank our host, University of Chuka, that this meeting here can take place. So I'm very happy to be, at least until this afternoon, a participant. Thank you once more for the invitation, and I'm very excited about the results. you all have this in your hands, so the results from the next 2 days in giving or trying to give answers to the questions which were raised before. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause. Thank you very much, Director, Dr. Vela. Now we'll have Anya. Thank you, VC. So, Anya, it's your time to come and elaborate us on the opportunities that are there from DAAD. I will do that for you. Thank you. You're welcome. Say hi to people.
Thank you, and good morning from my side as well. This is not an avatar, it's the real me. Yeah? So if you have any questions at any point, there will be no artificial intelligence responding to that. I feel a little bit out of place with talking about DAAD programs now when you are expecting, as you have expressed, talking about very different things, but Paul insisted so, and what Paul wants, Paul gets, so here I am. I try to be really brief. As the director said, we will be here until the afternoon at least, so that means we will be here for the breaks and the lunch, so if you have any questions, you can also come directly to me. And then, while you're waiting for the presentation to show, the director already mentioned to the DVC, there is a call for applications to institutions that went out. I hope you all saw them, those who work at universities, to become host institutions in our in-country, in-region scholarship program. That means that you can apply as a department, for example, of a university, proposing a particular master's or PhD course, and master's and PhD course, to be receiving scholarships as particular number that is yet to be defined by the selection committee and by the budget people in our head office for at least 3 years. So that means if you have particular degree courses that you want to promote, that you want more students in, and for which you need, so to say, scholarships to offer to your students, that would be an opportunity. The deadline for this program is the 19th of September. I'm only talking until this thing is shown. So it's 19th of September. That's about a month from now. At this first stage, what is required is more like a concept or expression of interest. And then those who are making it through that first round will be invited to then submit a more detailed full application. Can we have this event bigger? Because I'm not sure that those in the last line, last row will see. Can we put this in slideshow mode, please? It's still not in slideshow mode. Perfect. Thank you very much. So who do I signal to go to the next slide? I just say next slide, or okay. Yeah, thank you for the first slide. So I know this is probably information that is known to most of you, but I understand a lot when interacting with alumni or people who are not, that there's sometimes a misunderstanding or misconception what that is. So just to go to the root of the word alumnus, alumna comes from the Latin, from allere, to raise or to support, which in many cases is also a term for a graduate of a university, or in our case, the beneficiary of a funding organization like the DAAD. So alumnus, the male form, alumna the female, and in the plural is alumni or alumni, and for ladies, alumnae. This is always used interchangeably, but I think we should be aware that there are certain distinctions. There is also a definition for a DAAD, alumnus or alumna, which is an individual who has verifiably received at least 3 months of individual funding from the DAAD. This distinction is important because the DAAD also provides funding for projects, and of course people involved in these projects are benefiting from it, but rather indirectly. So if these people have not received funding individually for at least 3 months, they are actually not DAAD alumni. Yeah, so that also means that these persons cannot apply for the funds and the opportunities that I'm going to explain in this presentation. Then we have another sub-distinction, so to say, which is the definition for Germany alumnus or alumna. This is a foreign student who has usually studied, conducted research, or worked at a German university for at least 3 months and who is now working abroad. Yeah? So this goes also to, remember, our in-country and region program that I mentioned earlier. So that are people who have been funded for their master's and or PhD degree within the Africa region. They are, of course, not Germany alumni. Yeah, just for you to see the difference. Next slide, please. So there are plenty of benefits for DAAD alumni. You can stay informed, or we help you to stay informed, to get involved in networks, to receive individual funding, and of course give you the opportunity to pass on and give back. Next slide. So, facts and figures, because you might be aware that the DAAD is the largest funding organization in the world, and because of that, the numbers that you can see here are equally, I would say, impressive. Alumni organize around 200 events every year. We have about 140 active alumni associations worldwide. I'm happy to report that the Canada Scholars Association is one of them, for sure. We have 18 Nobel laureates among DAAD alumni. And if you look at the numbers for East Africa, as you can see, Kenya is in second position with 3,545 alumni as per a year ago. Only Ethiopia has a slightly larger number. South Sudan, because of the country's history and recent past, only has a small number so far, but obviously growing. Next slide. So in regards to staying informed, the website you can see here, daad-kenya.org, is our homepage for the DAAD regional office in Nairobi. And we have an alumni service link there. And this gives you the opportunity, for example, to also subscribe for the letter. That is the magazine for DAAD alumni that is published twice a year, both in German and English, and it gives you stories from the scientific or cultural fields from Germany, and also the international DAAD alumni network. It's free of charge. It can also be subscribed to for the physical copy, but I think virtual is easier. Next slide. The service area is very important for you to also update your contact data. So if you want us to be able to get in touch with you, this is what you would need to do. You can also set up a webmail address or the specialist literature, subscribe to the newsletter I just mentioned, and also to the letter and our newsletter from our DAAD regional office, which is published monthly. For this you need login credentials, and for this you need this obviously very elusive PKZ that you all had to provide to Paul when you were registering for this workshop. This is just not to torture you, it's just important for us to prove to the ministries in Germany that give us the money to give to you to organize events like this, that actually the people they wanted to reach, the DAAD alumni, were actually present. Yeah? And you prove it through your PKZ. If you don't know your PKZ, I'm the person for you to ask. Next slide. So I mentioned the scientific literature program earlier that you can use through the service area. This is meant for former one-year scholarship holders of any discipline from developing countries. So what it means is you can order scientific literature up to the value of 200 euros per year, but the literature needs to have been published by a German publisher. And as you know, scientific literature is expensive, so 200 euros is not that much, and of course it's gone. It's on first come, first served basis. So if you are really keen on it, try to apply for it early in the year. Yeah, that would be the best idea. Next slide. Then there is the Alumni Portal Deutschland or Alumni Portal Germany in order to network with other people. This is a digital meeting place for Germany alumni. Germany alumni, it provides exclusive information on calls, events, funding offers, digital learning opportunities, a career board, and networking opportunities for knowledge exchange and cooperation with Germany alumni and companies. Next slide. When it comes to individual funding programs, which might be particularly interesting for you as individuals, we have, for example, the re-invitation program for former scholarship holders. This offers the opportunity to realize research or work projects of up to 3 months in Germany. And the idea behind it is to help you maintain your academic and professional contacts to your partners, to your supervisors, the department you were attached to when you were in Germany. And the applicant must have studied or carried out research in Germany for more than 6 months. So this is mainly applied for by former PhD scholarship holders. It's also available to EPOS alumni. And also the applicant must not have lived in Germany for 3 years. So if you have returned from your PhD, for example, to Kenya this year, you can only apply for this program in 3 years' time. Next slide. Then we have the Material Resources Program. This is more actually for people who work at universities, and the department they are working in needs special equipment or equipment basically, which is supposed to be used and dedicated to the university or the particular department. So these resources are not awarded to an individual, alumnus or alumna, but to the department the alumnus or alumna applies from. Yeah? So the objective is infrastructural equipment for teaching and research facilities, and to also support and strengthen university partnerships. The application is quite complex, but not impossible, and we have a lot of times seen this being dedicated, and then even the German ambassador came to the university when it was unveiled and so on, so this is quite a big deal. And any questions need to be addressed to this email address down there. Unfortunately, it's in German, but I can tell you if you come to me in person. Next slide. So to receive funding as for networks or alumni seminars, there are various categories. There are major DAD alumni events who are usually organized by the DAD itself, like our 50-year anniversary that we celebrated last year. Then self-organized so-called small alumni activities, one of which you are currently attending. And then there are also alumni seminars organized by German universities and special alumni projects. Next slide. The special alumni projects are programs offered by German universities to extend the skills of Germany alumni. And they are focused on the SDGs. Next slide. In order to apply for these self-organized alumni events, our office in Nairobi is in charge of that. So we get a certain amount, a certain budget from our head office every year. Then we make a call to you, and everyone, as individuals or the alumni association, can apply for these funds. The event needs to be scientific or topic related. As we all know, this event definitely fits this criteria. And 50% at least need to be DAD alumni among the participants. Yeah? Those of you who are not alumni, you are most welcome. It's just that, again, we need to prove that if money is given for an alumni event, at least half of the participants are indeed alumni. The maximum grant depends on the call. Yeah, as I said, we get a budget from head office, and then we make the call and we give the amount that can be applied for. And the application deadline is to be announced, but it's usually end of the year, early in the year, and then we mostly give or award the funds for the current calendar year. Next slide. So the events that can be supported, as I already said, events that promote the scientific thematic exchange of alumni, contribute to the professional training. I believe that is also very much the case today. But also can be contributions to the preparation of scholarship holders. The money that you can use it for, the purpose you can use the money for are speakers, travel and accommodation, also the travel and accommodation of the alumni, and then subsidies towards general event costs, virtual conferencing, stationary internet costs, something like that. Next slide. Yeah, we are not supposed to forget that we all have to give back. Receiving a scholarship is definitely a privilege, and every privilege comes with a certain responsibility, and we invite you to do the same. So you can, for example, become a committee member of one of our various selection committees where we select new scholarship holders, for example, for PhD scholarships to Germany, for the in-country and region scholarship holders, and many other programs. You can contribute to the preparation of scholarship holders. You who applied for PhD scholarships to Germany, you know how difficult it is to find a supervisor and to actually come up with a proposal that is good enough to A, be a PhD proposal, and B, actually win a DAD scholarship. So you know the pain you went through, and you know how rewarding it was that to eventually get the scholarship, your PhD, and what a difference it made in your career. And we are asking you to extend this courtesy also to those who come after you, which goes also to mentoring and providing internships. And the DAD also has a foundation. It's called DAD Stiftung. Stiftung is the German word for foundation. And the website is down there, dd-stiftung.de. You can find more information there, but it's really also just the opportunity to donate money if you wish. Next slide. Yeah, that is basically what I had to, what I wanted to share with you. We have an email address. I'm not sure if you can read this, alumni.nairobi@dad.de, and these emails will be received by me and as promptly as possible responded to. And I hope I get many emails from you with applications and with ideas for engagements. And again, if you have any questions, we probably take those to the break. and now so that you can proceed with your event. Thank you very much for your attention.
So, another round of applause to Anya and Joel Vega. Thank you, Director. Thank you, Anya, for coming. I really insisted you come. And I'm happy that you honored our invite. We are very grateful. One of the things that I wanted you to come and which has already happened, is for you to come and tell the people seated here and those who are listening to us online that there are opportunities. I'm a proud DAD alumnus, and I'm happy because DAD is, if not the best, I think the only, that takes care of its alumni the way you do. We are happy because once you become a DAD alumni, they will never let you go. They always want to know where you are, what you are doing. And mostly, they want us to keep the warmth of each other. And that's why we are gathered here as alumni, not only to talk about generative AI, but also to keep in touch with each other and what we are doing. And by so doing, I've met several alumni in similar events. And in this event, I'm recognizing a special person because I only saw her during the German language course class. She was my classmate doing language course class, and then we met yesterday after 12 years. Dr. Lucy Mbolu. She got lost, but now she's found. So DAD allows that. So there are opportunities for those who are willing to join, and there are those who have already joined, and the alumni, there are even more opportunities as being well elaborated by the director and also Anya. So we are there to utilize those opportunities. Probably I allow just one question or two to the director that you like maybe to verbalize. Either for those who are not DAD or for those who are DAD, regarding on what they have talked about or any other. Yes, Rose? Give mic to Rose. For the sake of those who are online, I would like you to get a mic, please. Come, Rose.
I can't see me. It's very cold here. So thank you very much, Anya, and the director for coming. And also thank you, members. In particular, I'm not asking a question. I'm a proud member of the association, a great one, that has shaped me to the best academician down there in Western Kenya. I'm just here to say something that now that Anya has talked about DAD and alumnus events, I stand here to represent the national office of Kenya DAAD Scholars Association. Yesterday when we were having a conversation, I realized that there were many people who are lost in the bush. Please get an opportunity to talk to us. I represent the office. There was Dr. Philip Manyeko there, who is the treasurer. I'm the assistant treasurer. We are going to help you come back to the phone. We have forms to fill. We have some information for you. We have things that can make you become a member immediately, so that because we are really mobilizing members, that is one of our main motive during this year, that we want to bring everybody to the phone so that we remain a strong, formidable force. Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Actually, Rose has reminded something I was to do. I was to introduce the KDSA, that's Kenya DAD Scholars Association officials that are represented here. The chairman was to come. Unfortunately, he was not feeling well. So, can you stand, Philip and Rose? Who is the other? Okanya was also to come. He cancelled, actually cancelled last evening. He was to be here. So, because of other engagement. So, those are the KDSA scholars representative that we have, that we elected just the other day in Kitui. You'll get a chance to talk to the people after. So we have got a concern from the DAD alumni. For the non-DAD, somebody with a question, perhaps you could have asked when are the deadlines for those applications, or when we get more information, or for those who are already with PhDs, what are the more opportunities they have? Do you offer scholarship for people who are already done PhDs? Those are my questions, are not yours. Anybody with a question? Or they can ask ChatGPT. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, Professor is there.
Thank you. I think her name is Tanya. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. The other one says she's not an narrator, so you can ask questions. We'll ChatGPT. My question is interesting. Please take it in good faith. Those of us who are late bloomers, who did not get an opportunity to join DAD, do we just get the remnants of attending such a workshop, or is there any opportunity for us, apart from being an alumnus or alumni?
Yes, thank you for this question. I think it's also in the mind of some classmates, not only you. I think we put it this way. As Anya explained, we are somehow distinguishing between, let's say, the individual hand-selected DAD scholarship holders who can make benefit out of these instruments you just talked about. But there are also other opportunities to get in touch with DAD or to benefit from programs. That is in particular in the sense of capacity building. So that means people who did not yet get a scholarship so far, but are at the intermediate stage in their academic career, or even at a lower level in management at the university. Perhaps they can apply for training courses in management, but also in curricular development, etc., etc. Also, those people who benefit only from these training courses belongs in the broader family of DAD alumni, even although they do not can apply, for example, for re-invitations and some of these particular options Anya mentioned. But I think it's really helpful if you look to our DAD Nairobi website, but also to the one of the DAD itself. And there you find one rubric explaining what you can do as a member of an African university. For those who are not employed with the university, it's a bit more difficult. That is the situation. Yeah? There's one program, it's called EPOS, that is a master program for doing masters in Germany, but only for selected, pre-selected particular courses. And one requirement for this program is that in this case the people have to have experience on the labor market already, and it is orientated to development topics, generally spoken. Yeah, I hope that is helpful and makes a bit of hope that it's put this way. Thank you.
It's okay. Thank you for the response. So one more.
Guten Morgen. I just have a small question here. Maybe I was going to write to Anya, but since she's here, she can handle it right away. Even director can please. So I just want to. I recently heard that Kenya has not, as a country, has not yet revived the previous agreement with DAD, where we had, of course, we had the standard DAD and then the Kenya government DAD program. So we have interests of students who would wish to go and pursue PhDs. So how is it? I mean, this standard, how many positions do we have as Kenya? And yeah, yes.
Yeah, thanks for the question. That's correct. We used to have a government scholarship program where the government of Kenya, together with DAD, provided up to 20 scholarships per year to do a PhD in Germany. That scholarship program was in place for 12, 13 years. Not once did we fill all the positions. Find 10 people who we could award the scholarship in this program. So I always hear, oh, we need scholarships, oh, where are the opportunities, and the opportunities are there, they are not picked up. So I don't know why that is the case. But whoever is interested in a PhD in Germany, the standard PhD scholarships are still there. The requirements are exactly the same. You have to have a master's degree that ideally is not older than 6 years at the time you apply for the scholarship. You need to have a well-developed research proposal, 10 to 12 pages, and of course a supervisor in Germany, or the admission letter of a structured program. So the opportunities are there. I cannot give you a number of how many scholarships will be awarded each year, because that again depends on the budget that our head office provides. And we only get the number in February, and yet the application deadline is in October. Yeah? We know there will be scholarships. We just don't know the exact number. Yeah? So unfortunately, that is as much as I can tell you in terms of concrete figures.
Thank you, Anya, but I want to add that we really want to encourage you to make use of the standard PhDs. Because what is going on in the head office in Bonn currently, they are wondering about, is there no need anymore? What is the reason? Let us switch the PhD scholarships, the amount, take the money to cover the PhD scholarships, put them into master courses or something like that. So that is ongoing currently. So that means motivate your students to really apply so that we can see, no, here is still the need on the ground, if that is the case. I really want to encourage you to do so. Yeah? As Anya said, we do not know what is the reason that the number is not really used. We cannot.
Thank you very much. I want to limit now, because of time, quickly. We will hear the two questions.
Thank you, Prof, and thank you, DAD, for your presence. I have one brief question, but please allow me to say this. I want to appreciate DAD so much, and more so this lady called Anya. I knew Anya when I was just graduated with my first degree at Kenyatta University, and on that material day, the university had just admitted me into a graduate program immediately before graduating, so to speak, ceremony. And then it so happened that when DAD indicated that they were coming to KU to make this presentation and get people involved to apply, I got myself asked to host them on behalf of the university. And that's how I got to know this lady. And since then, we have been friends to date. And DAD has provided an academic home, a professional smorgasbord, where we look to when things happen. So we are really, personally, I can say so many good things about DAD from today until tomorrow and the next day, because you have been good to us, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Now, I think you're partially answered it, but allow me to say this. What is the possibility that, of course I've done my master's and PhD so many years, that I can apply to DAD to do another master's? I'm asking this for the following reason. Some of us, I think we were greedy with education. By the time we are hitting our 30s, we're already PhDs plus. And now I stand where I stand, I feel like I didn't even go to school. I feel like I want to be a student again. What is the possibility, especially in this era of multidisciplinarity? Can't I get some DAAD scholarship or funding to go and do a master's in AI? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Anya was wondering why I'm next door and I can't whisper what I want to say. But for the benefit of all of us, let me appreciate these two powerful ladies for the leadership they provide to us. My concern has always been sustainability of these good things that the German government does to us. When will we grow up to take charge of our destinies? That is always my concern. Will we continue depending on the DAD scholarships and the good things that you guys offer to us? Now, in that same context, where do you see this collaboration between the German government and the Kenyan government in the context of DAD going in the next 10 years? Will the status quo still remain, considering the geopolitical dynamics and governance challenges that come with every leadership? And then I think to us, I think we need to, for lack of a better way, grow up and take charge of our destiny so that we move forward. I don't know whether you guys get what I'm saying. Thank you.
We do.
Yeah, we start perhaps with the last question. I'll try to answer it. I mean that you know that we have a trustful relation since 50 years now. So last year we celebrated the 50 years anniversary, and it can ensure that the German government is at least in the same way interested to continue than they were until now. Not only in Kenya but also in the sub-Saharan area as such. One example is that last month we opened a second branch office in Accra. So that is a good sign. So that is why the government, and DAD is telling the government since quite a long time that that was needed, but the government recognized that for this important neighbor continent to Europe, there has to be more presence than just here in Nairobi. Yes? So that is one thing. The other thing is that perhaps, and that has something to do with the question I raised before, so what is the need here? In which direction programs has or have to be developed? It seems to me that there is a changement. I think for the last centuries it was mainly for the capacity building of universities, and that was why the PhDs were really needed. Imagine how many campus, what is the plural? So, and new universities emerged somehow, and I think that is now a status where it's enough. So there's no more need in other universities. The opposite is happening. That is one thing. And the other thing is that the labor market changed. So I think the success of a good master holder is increasing to get absorbed by the labor market. So that is why Germany and we, DAD, together with our donors, have to think to somehow modify or develop our instruments, our funding instruments. And the last point is, I think that is also well known, that Germany and Kenya are going to sign a migration agreement in September in Germany, which is already prepared from the Kenyan side. So it's in the box, it just has to be signed. And that is the interest, or that is mirroring the interest of Germany from the labor market in experienced people. I say just people. It touches academia, but that means academic trained people, but also from the labor market, of course, experienced people, to come to Germany to take over positions there. And also that is for me a sign that our collaboration, that was your question, will continue. And I think somehow it will even improve, because it's going to different levels. So it's not only the PhD in Germany, so that was how the history happened to a lot of you and to a lot of staff members from the different universities who are around here. So the thing that my personal point of view is that we have to come together to discuss how the needs changed and where we have to go. It's not a question if it continues, it's a question how it has to continue. You know, until now we always told the African universities that we offer our scholarships for the reason that these people, be it in Germany or be it here on the ground within region country scholarship program, should start to improve and to strengthen the African higher education system. Now the Germans come and tell, oh listen, you unemployed good graduates we could need in Germany. So that is the situation currently. But that is, or I try to answer this question you arise, also with this aspect, because that is fact, that is the situation currently in Germany. Yesterday we had a delegation from the German government, in particular here on the ground, in order to get information about the situation, the status quo of migration from workers from Kenya to Germany, on the and the needs, of course, at school level, at university level, and at labor market level. Of course, German language was the main issue they had. I mean, the Kenyans had. So that to be prepared to go to the German labor market, of course, you have to have German language skills. So that was the main topic yesterday. I hope, yeah, we can continue, and that you have no doubts that we as Germans really would love to continue to collaborate with Kenya.
10 seconds to answer Solo's question. The requirements for DAAD scholarships are very clear. They do not restrict people who have 5 degrees or 0 degrees. As long as you meet the requirements, you are welcome to apply. The criteria for selection depend on the program. That's all I can say.
Let me add one thing here, but that is important, because I know the thinking of the Commission who do the selections. They usually want to see that if you do a master after being a PhD holder, this master has to strengthen your academic career. They have to see somehow a linkage and the connections. Yeah, so that what you additionally want to do and to learn, as you said, should somehow be for your benefit, for your personal academic career. So have that in mind if you apply.
Thank you. Thank you. We can applaud our director, Anya. Thank you for providing that information for us. Key information that came from Anya, that their scholarship, Samson Yoguli, listen to me, there are opportunities that are not taken. There are opportunities. She said that when there was the DAAD Kenyan government collaboration, they would never fill those positions. They will even trouble to get 10, imagine. 10. And I'm witness to this, because when I was interviewed myself, they took 10, and they had to do the interviews twice. They had to do an advert so that they fill in 10. And for us, we were 20, the full DAAD For the 10 that they got from Kenya, who says also my witness, we were together, they really troubled. They had to do that again. So opportunities are there. For the alumni, the opportunities are there. Let's grab those opportunities. This conversation can continue and continue, but I just thought it is very important for you who came here at least to know where you can benefit from. We are not doing very well in terms of time. I'm aware of that. So the next session, I'll try now to be more strict. What I want you to do for me, we will go down this building at the entrance. We'll have one big group photo. As we take the big group photo, we'll be coming up through the stairs. We take our tea. And all those, the two events are not supposed to take more than 30 minutes. So that we are coming back here, and I'll tell you what we do. In the meantime, for those 30 minutes, we'll be setting up for the next speaker. Fortunately, our two speakers agreed to sync their presentation, so they are doing presentations together, but they will take good time because they are more or less related to what they will talk about. I'll tell you when we come back. So, but let's say a word of thanks for the tea from professors. We can stand.
Be with us, bless us, guide us. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Welcome for today.
So kindly, without wasting time, let's just follow me. I'll show you where. No, let's follow Mwangi. Mwangi is the one raising up. Let's follow Mwangi for yes, and Mugambi. Yeah, I'll show you where we are going to take a group photo. Leave your gadgets here. Leave your gadgets. So good. How can you lead us?